Oh, it's me. The reason why it seems so expensive is because it is expensive. Prices have gone up, and that's due to external factors. There's the election down south. There's the crap that's going on here in Canada. There's the COVID, and all of a sudden, everybody and their dog has decided that being a prepper or having a little something put away, if they don't want to use the term prepper, um, is starting to figure out a firearm isn't a bad thing to own, as much as our government is trying to say that they shouldn't be out there in the hands of common civilians. Well, I'm not a common civilian. I'm what you trained me to be. I'm an ex-infanteer. But anyway, yeah, there's that stuff going on, and there's not all that many people making the components. So there's a couple factories down in the States that make primers, and there's a whole bunch internationally, but they're all on limited amounts. I mean, normally there isn't this big of demand for the primers, and then there's not that big of demand for the bullets, and then there's not that big of demand for the powder. So it's coming down to a really perfect storm right now where everybody goes, "Oh my God, this person isn't good, so I better stock up in case world pandemonium happens." Happened 4-5 years ago where Obama, Bush, or Pence or whatever, Hillary, Trump election, it cleaned out stuff there, and then somebody found some legal loophole in the American government purchasing order, so they went out and purchased a whole billions and billions of rounds. They've had wars going on, so a lot of production is being eaten up by that. And then now we've got the new preppers coming in. We've got people who have decided they need a gun, so they're going out and buying everything they can. They may not be able to get rounds, so they're going out and buying all sorts of silly stuff. They're going out and buying reloading components and everything, even though they'll probably never be touched. Maybe in about 2 years or so you might see a bunch of stuff in the for sale lot, but I'll be trying to grab some of it if it does, or it'll be shared down the muzzle of a barrel. But yeah, those are the issues. Is that we've got political uncertainty, we've got elections, we've got this pandemic going on, and there's a whole bunch of uncertainty about it. We're coming into a winter where people haven't made as much as they normally have made, so thusly they're economically depressed, and so people are trying to go out hunting a little bit more often, and there goes some more ammo and components. Me, I always keep a ready use supply on hand, like that one brick that I bought there the other day. That's like a winter's plinking with me and my bolt action rifles. I don't run it through my semi-automatic rifle because it doesn't work unless I go and get myself a special bolt, and that doubles the cost of my rifle. So I've already spent a lot of money on another rifle, and I really don't shoot it enough to justify it. But it's a really nice rifle. That's why but it's a long-term investment. If you're going to start shooting, you get yourself some equipment, and it's an investment. Most of the stuff you get comes with a lifetime warranty. So, like I said in my reloading videos, I've broken stuff on both my presses, but I've contacted them and said, "Hey, this broke," and poof, it's in the mail, sir. Thank you very much. Or when I had another issue, I had an issue with my Dillon, or not my Dillon, my RCBS, because I was using it to swage, and I was being rather forceful about it, and I broke it. I broke a couple of hard to break parts, but they were, oh my gosh, very rarely do we ever see this. We would like a description of what you're doing. We're not going to avoid the warranty, but we would like to know more, And so because of my knowledge of metallurgy, I was able to explain to them what had happened is that when I was trying to take the bullet off the swaging pin, the cast iron broke, as opposed, because it wasn't going in the way it was designed to be tensioned, but I was giving a little bit too much. But they covered me, and they said it's not a problem. So I just simply switched my swaging method. And the reason why you swage is because if it's military style brass, 223, some 9mm, some 45, 7.62 by 39, 54. The military calibers, when they put the primer in, they give it a little bit of a squeeze behind it, so that if you're shooting it in a military rifle, a semi-automatic, the primers don't fall out as easy. They don't blow out as easy. So they go and put this, they go and squish the metal in around, squish, squish, and but you can press them out, and it just becomes nearly impossible to put one in until you go and just basically ream that out. Just gotta push the brass out of the way, and then the other one, then the new primer fits in, right? No problem. But yeah, so there's a little bit of that, but unless you're shooting a whole lot of a caliber, the reason why you're doing it is to save yourself money on higher end ammunition. I saw a box of 308 a year and a half ago that ran $70+ for a box of 20. So that's nearly $5 a round. And so, yeah, I can reload myself good, and I mean good, hunting ammo. The bullet itself runs about $1.20. Powder runs me about 70 cents to $1, and then a primer is about 10-20 cents. So I've cut the price of good ammo down to basically the bare bones, and you can go a lot cheaper than that. That's a solid bonded metal round that doesn't have any lead in it. It's one of the new California spec legal bullets. They're a nice bullet. They shoot nice, but they're a lot more expensive than using a lead-filled bullet, which will cost, from, what did I pay? It was $42 for a box of 100 versus $60 for a box of 50 of the bonded metal bullets. So it all depends on what you're shooting. And then there are videos that show that there are other ways to get. You can shoot cast bullets, and that'll bring your cost down. But that's getting a little bit too technical for me. I don't want to be breathing lead fumes. I'll load cast for myself and for others, but I'm just not dealing with it myself. I don't have the equipment. Yeah, those are the reasons why. It's just American election, Canadian possible stupidity. We've got the pandemic. There's not that many manufacturers of the stuff. It's just an all-around shortage. Prices are going up. Places down in the States where it was previously $10-12 for a box of 50 9mm rounds, cheaper than dirt, is one of the places that I can accurately say this. It was over $40 for a box of 50, and this was a couple months ago. I've seen more recent videos of gun shows where guys have their ammo out on display, and again, it's $40 to $50 for a box of 50 rounds. So you're paying $1 a round every time you yank the trigger. That's why it's better to be good. But I'll still take being lucky, too. Being lucky also helps. Yeah. But yeah, it's just an all-around lack of unavailability right now. It's a good long-term investment, but you got to know what you're getting yourself into. I plan on getting my instructor's certificate, so I'll be able to do the course myself, instruct the course myself. The biggest issue with that will be getting myself safe weapons, gun-safe weapons that students can handle without, they're de-wadded. They can't shoot around, like the firing pins are missing, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. Glad you asked the question. There's the long rambled answer. Hope it helps.